Hello, friends, and welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters with Joe Machado. I hope you're doing well today. So today I'm going to talk about an issue that every time I hear about it or see it, just gets right under my skin. And this has been going on for decades. But the thing is they've gotten a lot bolder in their actions and just more flagrant. Kind of like, I just don't give a shit, that kind of attitude. So that's the issue of the WSIB threatening injured workers to reduce their benefits or cut off their benefits if they don't do some dumbass shit that they expect them to do. And, when I look at it and I look back over the years, whenever this came up, because I would always address it. Like if it was something with one of my clients or the client of my firm, I addressed it head on. And I found that eventually it happened very seldom because they got to know that there was going to be some backlash. But usually I found that, some people, they just take pleasure in watching somebody else suffer. It's just devious. And sometimes when you get to talk to somebody for a bit, you catch on to that. You get those vibes. Or they're on a power trip. Maybe they don't have any power in their personal lives. And anytime they have an opportunity to exert power over somebody else, makes them feel good. But you know what? Making shit up doesn't make it legal. And I find oftentimes when they make these threats, they're just making shit up. It happened recently with one of our members. And you find that they get so anxious in their excitement to fuck somebody over that they completely lose sight of what they're required to do by law when they're doing it, which is to, first of all, clearly state why they're making that threat, because it is a threat. State the law and policy that authorizes them to do that, and state in the letter what the workers' rights are to appeal, which in the case that I'm talking about didn't happen. Totally omitted. It's kind of like, whatever. It's my decision. I made my decision. And if you don't do this within a week, I'm gonna make your life miserable. And I'm sure some of you have probably experienced this yourselves. I've come to the conclusion that some idiots cannot handle power, particularly when that power has such significant financial implications that affects another person. And you would think that the WSIB by now would have learned that to give somebody the authority to put it in writing, to send it out to an injured worker, even when the letter isn't properly written, it should be reviewed by a manager. And a manager should authorize that. And it should be stated in the claim file, the date, the reasons why, and who spoke to whom. So the circumstances around that determination, all of that should be in that memo. Because if the file goes to appeals, I don't have any positive feelings about the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board's Appeals Division Services branch, but the tribunal, they'll look at that. They'll look at that very closely because they need to be able to establish what the circumstances were. Or was it some schmuck that was on a power trip without any reason whatsoever to do that and put the injured worker in that predicament? So a manager should review it, put their name to it, and put it on file. And even if the manager is a complete moron, too, which I've come across a lot of them, believe me, it should be on file, because then the director, believe me, if it's a member of WSIB Settlements who has access to our tools and support, that manager is going to be forced to review that decision, whether they like it or not. And it may go as far as the director and the vice president. Because you can't just pull this kind of shit in this day and age when you have laws that you have to abide by and expect that it's going to go unchecked. So you can't give some idiots that kind of power. One of the reasons why we also think it's important to address it immediately, and we have a tool on our app, where if you get threatened with a letter like that, or even over the phone, you click a button, you enter a few details, takes you less than 60 seconds, and you upload that letter to the WSIB, and somebody's going to have to review that. The reason why this is so important is twofold. Because some idiot somewhere along the line is going to look at it and say, really? Are we dealing with this shit? Like, this shouldn't be happening? Get this person's benefits going and stop this bullshit? Or, if you get up to the tribunal, they're going to want to reinstate your benefits if they were stopped for any period of time. But in order to do that, they need to be able to show that you had valid reasons and that you made an effort to make sure that that didn't happen. I did a video a couple of weeks back dealing, I think the thumbnail was, you got your WSIB or your decision, appeal decision, but did you really win? Well, you could be at the tribunal for an unrelated issue and think that because that issue gets resolved in your favor, that they can look at those benefits for that period where you were uncooperative or deemed by the WSIB uncooperative and you didn't take action. They may not be able to address that period of benefits. And I've seen that happen. So you want to give them every opportunity to make the decision that I know they want to make for you, which is a fair and a just decision. And they don't listen to a lot of the bullshit the WSIB does, because they know there's a lot of fucking idiots down there running the show. They know that. They know it as well as I do and as well as you do. And anybody who's been in the business long enough knows that. All right, friends? So, as you can tell, this one gets me really ticked off. Because you can't fix stupid, and I really don't have any time to deal with idiots. So at the end of each video that I do going forward, I'm going to have a tip for you. And today's tip is actually along the same lines of this discussion. So here we go. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. I call it Mr. Smiley's tip of the day because there's way too much reason to be upset and pissed off with these people. So hopefully Mr. Smiley can brighten up your day a little bit. Keep records and make notes of all of your WSIB related activities. Memories fade, and this can be extremely important in your case if it ends up in appeal. All right, friends. Once again, thank you for taking the time to watch my video. If you're new to the channel, I welcome you to become a subscriber. It's free. All of the information you get on this channel doesn't cost you anything. Hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I come out with a new video. Generally, I do about 3 videos a week. And to my subscribers, once again, thank you. I always appreciate you sharing my videos and your support. And as always, and until next time, take care.